Here's how I took this plain, boring concrete bird bath pedestal and upcycled it into this brand new, shiny, colorful bird bath that looks so much nicer in the garden. I just love the color. So to start, I had this old concrete bird bath pedestal. The saucer had long ago cracked, and I was using this plastic beige saucer that I had found at a nursery. It wasn't the right size. I really wanted a larger one, and I didn't like that the colors didn't even match. So I just didn't like how it looked in the garden, that white concrete. It was not the look I was going for. So I actually repurposed some bricks and built a pedestal-style bird bath and purchased a new saucer online. I think that looks so much nicer for the garden. But I wasn't ready to give up on my old concrete pedestal. I didn't want to throw it out, so I decided to paint it. Now the first step was to scrub down the pedestal with a brush just to remove any debris, make sure it's as clean as possible. Then I went to the paint store and picked out a water-based paint. It's important that it's water-based so that the concrete will absorb it. And then you want to mix the paint with a 1-to-1 ratio of water to paint for that primer coat. So you mix the paint, 1 part water, 1 part paint. Then you take regular water and just completely soak the concrete before you start painting. So then paint over it with that mixture of water to paint, and the concrete's going to soak up all of that paint and water. So that's what you want to have happen. And once that is finished, I really did not like the color, so that's just the primer coat. Didn't like the color, so I went to the store and had them darken the paint, but it was not matching the saucer that I had purchased, so I was not really loving the color. So I actually tested it out in different lighting. I was really trying to get a feel for what the final color is going to look like, and I just did not like that color, so I had them darken the paint again. So now for the final coat, you don't mix the paint with water, you just paint over that primer layer. Just paint over it with your regular water-based paint. Now the primer layer actually stained the concrete green, so now as we paint over it, if this layer of paint were to chip for whatever reason over time, you're not going to see the white concrete. You're actually just going to see the primer layer underneath that's been stained green. So this will help it last a really long time out in the elements, and I thought that looked so much nicer here, so I took it outside just to test out how the color looked in the different light. So basically after priming the concrete, it only took 1 coat of paint, maybe 2 if I had to touch up a few spots I missed, but that's simple, just 1 or 2 coats of paint. Then I brought it back inside and spray painted it with a high gloss clear spray paint. So just look how it shines now. It looks so nice. So I took it outside again just to see the finished product, and it's so beautiful. Oh, looks like we have our first visitor, even though there's no water in it. And I placed a rock inside to make sure it stayed secure on the pedestal. And here is the finished project. It looks so good out in the garden. And of course I had to add a solar-powered floating fountain and some rocks so the birds have a nice place to perch and just to kind of keep it sturdy because it's not attached to the pedestal. If you do want to purchase a solar-powered fountain or this plastic saucer, I have linked the products in the video description. It was really difficult to find a plastic saucer that was large enough for what I wanted. I think this is something like 24 inches in diameter. Overall, I think this looks 10 times better than the old white concrete pedestal, and it was a cheap and easy project that I think anyone can do if you have some old concrete. It's really easy to paint. If you want the step-by-step instructions, I've written them out in the video description, and let me know in the comments. Do you think this was worth it?